Today on Rappler. Will the Maharlika Investment Fund pass scrutiny of the Supreme Court? Senator Coco Pimentel and Representative Edsel Lagman disagree. The Philippine Weather Bureau says the 2023 rainy season is underway. The U.S. Embassy in the Philippines announces an increase in visa application fees. Japan's birth rate hits record low. Philippine Sorbetes and halo-halo make it to Taste Atlas's World's Best Frozen Desserts of 2023. Prince Harry will become the first senior British royal to give evidence in court in 130 years. And SM Entertainment denies EXO members allegations of slave contracts and unclear handling of earnings. Senate Minority Leader Coco Pimentel warns the controversial Maharlika Investment Fund, or MIF, would not, quote, withstand the scrutiny of the Supreme Court. Pimentel says Marcos should veto the bill since it is, quote, full of opaque provisions, contradictions, ambiguities, and loopholes. A pet measure of Marcos, the president had certified the bill as urgent. A sovereign wealth fund, Maharlika will be used to invest in high-ticket projects and domestic and foreign corporate bonds, among others. As of posting, Marcos has not yet signed the bill into law. Meantime, Albay Representative Edsel Lagman, who also voted against the fund, says courts are not concerned with the wisdom, justice, policy, or expediency of a statute. He notes the remedy against an unwise law is to seek its amendment or repeal by the legislature itself. The Philippine Atmospheric, Geophysical, and Astronomical Services Administration says the Philippines' rainy season is underway. PAGASA notes scattered thunderstorms brought by Super Typhoon Betty and the southwest monsoon or habagat brought widespread rain to the western parts of Luzon and the Visayas in the past few days. PAGASA says the widespread rain, quote, signifies the start of the rainy season in the country, especially over the Climate Type 1 areas. Climate Type 1 areas have two pronounced seasons, dry from November to April and wet from May to October. These areas include western parts of Luzon and the Visayas. Even though the rainy season has begun, the Bureau says there may still be monsoon breaks, which can last for several days or weeks. PAGASA is also monitoring the expected transition to El Niño, which could persist until the first quarter of 2024. The United States Embassy in the Philippines will increase fees for a number of non-immigrant visa applications starting June 17. Those applying for visitor visas for business or tourism and other non-petition-based non-immigrant visas will now have to pay $185 or 10,397 pesos. Student and exchange visas fall under the non-petition-based non-immigrant visas. Meanwhile, the application fee for certain petition-based non-immigrant visas for temporary workers now ranges from $190 to $205. U.S. Embassy Consul General Mark McGovern says recommendation letters have no bearing in applying for a non-immigrant visa. He adds establishing the reason to return back to the Philippines is also crucial in the visa application's approval. Japan's health ministry says the country's birth rate declined for the seventh consecutive year in 2022 to a record low. The fertility rate, or the average number of children born to a woman in her lifetime, was 1.26. This is far below the rate of 2.07 considered necessary to maintain a stable population. Prime Minister Fumio Kishida has made halting the country's sliding birth rate a top priority. The Japanese government plans to earmark spending of 3.5 trillion yen or $25 billion a year on childcare and other measures to support parents. The pandemic has exacerbated Japan's demographic challenges with fewer marriages and more deaths. Filipino desserts, sorbetes, and halo-halo are hailed as some of the best frozen desserts in the world. Taste Atlas releases the list of 50 best-rated frozen desserts in the world for 2023, where sorbetes, or local ice cream made traditionally with Carabao milk, ranked 5th. Summer dessert halo-halo takes the 43rd spot on the list. It's made up of mixed fruit and beans, topped with finely crushed ice and milk. Ranking in the top 4 above sorbetes are USA's frozen custard, Turkey's dondurma, Peru's queso helado, and Iran's bastani sonati at number 1. In April 2023, Taste Atlas also named sorbetes second best-rated ice cream in the world. Taste Atlas is an online gastronomic database that promotes the local culinary culture of countries all over the world. Prince Harry will become the first senior British royal to give evidence in court for 130 years when he testifies next week in his lawsuit against a newspaper group he accuses of unlawful behavior. Harry will appear in the witness box at London's High Court as part of the case he and more than 100 other celebrities brought against Mirror Group newspapers, publisher of the Daily Mirror, Sunday Mirror, and Sunday People. It will be the first time a senior royal has given evidence since 1870. Harry has been in the headlines over the last 6 months over his legal rows with the British press and the release of his memoir and Netflix documentary, where he accused senior royals of colluding with tabloid newspapers. SM Entertainment refutes allegations of slave contracts and unclear handling of earnings by K-pop boy group EXO members Chen, Baekhyun, and Xiumin. On Thursday, June 1, 3 members notified the label that they are terminating their contracts. SM says it has been transparent with payments to their artists. The agency also claims an external influence or third party caused the rift between the agency and the artists, saying it was, quote, luring its artists into violating their valid exclusive contracts. EXO's former Chinese members, Chris, Luhan, and Tao, also filed a lawsuit with the agency, claiming their contracts with SM are invalid. EXO made its debut in April 2012 with 12 members under the management of SM Entertainment. And that's today's wrap. I'm Nina Liu. Thank you for watching. Click the link below for the full story. Follow us on Rappler's YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok.